My name is Chris Ashton. I am a co-founder of Turtle Rock Studios and also design director on Evolve.
It's here.
So today we're showing off the Kraken, and it's a new playable monster. Before we showed Goliath, and he's really a brawler, he's a bruiser, he very much gets close to the hunters and fights, gets up right up in their face. The Kraken is very different, and the biggest thing about the Kraken that people will notice is that it flies, spends a lot of time in the air, and as such it has ranged attacks. So it does electrical attacks from the air. It can throw electrical bolts and lightning strikes and stuff from the air. So it's a lot different. It's almost the kind of opposite from Goliath. Doesn't have as much armor or health as Goliath does, but it plays in a completely different way. So hopefully people will see that the game changes a lot depending on what monster you're facing. So the new characters, they all have completely different gear, so they all play a lot differently. So to give you an example, Val has her med gun. It's very straightforward approach to a medic, and Lazarus is a lot different. Lazarus does not have a way to sort of actively heal the team very well. What he does instead, though, is when people dies, he's able to use his Lazarus device on his hand and able to bring them back to life.
Arise!
So both of them function as medics, but they approach it in a much different way. And it's the same for Bucket, who's our new support. He's a robot, and he's got a UAV that he can fly around. He actually takes his head off and he flies it around as a UAV. We've got Maggie as the new trapper that we've introduced. She's got a pet trap jaw who's is like a big dog who can sniff out the monster and help you shortcut and find him quicker. And we've got Hyde, who's a very kind of salty assault character, and he's got a flamethrower. So it's very short range, but very powerful. We have 3 assaults, 3 trappers, 3 support, 3 medics, and so there's still more stuff to come. There's 2 ways that we adjust the game. One way that we adjust is for sheer numbers and balance, and we use a lot of telemetry and statistics to adjust the game there. But then from player feedback, whether they felt the controls were easy or difficult, or whether they liked this character or didn't like this character or particular abilities, and we try to find out why. So we do a lot of play testing. We bring in people at 2K, we bring in people at Turtle Rock, we play the game all the time, and just try to make adjustments to make sure that the game's easy to co-op on the hunter side. I think most of the journalists that are in the business are in it because they like games, enjoy it, and the people who went to PAX are gamers as well. So I still see everybody sitting down in front of the controls and picking it up and playing the game and having a really good time and coming away from it saying, thank you, that was awesome. And so it's been good. In the way that we work on the game internally, we have programmers and animators and artists, and everybody who works on the game, it doesn't matter what department you're in, everybody who works on the game can give input, and they can say, I think this should be more like this, or I think it would be more fun if it were that way. And that's the way we work as a studio. We work that way with 2K as well. They give a lot of input on the game, and it changes when we make adjustments. And so it's a group effort. And once the game is released, then now it's the community's turn, to be part of the process and to be part of that group effort. And so as soon as it comes out, it's even started already on forums and that sort of thing, people seeing footage, some people have played it at PAX, so people are already giving us feedback, and we're already looking at what people are saying and trying to figure out, for DLC and stuff coming on down the road, can we make adjustments? Can we give people more of what they want? Sometimes, and thinking about what's important to them, I think when we first showed the game, everybody really latched onto sort of the wildlife and how it was interesting, and trying to think of how the monsters could interact with the wildlife and how the hunters interact with the wildlife and what could you get from that. And that's when we really leaned on the elite wildlife now, and we make sure that all the maps have elite wildlife, and those give you perks. Both teams can kill an elite. It's a rare creature, and they can kill it and then get a temporary buff. And a lot of that, we pushed on that harder because people were excited about interacting with the wildlife from the community. So things like that,
If you can pick one thing of the game you're really, really, really proud of, what is it?
I would say that we were able to make 4v1 work. You know, that we were able to make it a balanced game. We see really good telemetry numbers, really good balance ratios internally in the studio on 2K's side. Even at PAX and stuff, we saw really good win-loss ratios between both sides. And a lot of people are like, well, how can you, there's so many characters and monsters and so many variables. But, you know, we play the game so much that we're able, I think, to chew through all of that stuff. So that's one of the things I like the most.